man. Gotta learn to roll with the technical punches.
We do have to be flexible. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 233rd episode of the Angry Cuddles podcast. We are Gamefly affiliates, so go to gameflyoffer.com/angrycuddles and sign up for one of their deals, and you'll help us out when you do that. With me, as always, is a sweet caffeine high. Joining me today is DJ Pikachuck without his Pika ears.
Yeah, the provider of the Pika ears is sick this week.
A.K.A. Krusty Chuck, A.K.A. Byronic Commando, who had a lovely stream earlier. A lot of fun.
I did.
My favorite part of your stream was that you would talk, and then you were reacting as if these things were falling on you. So, like, you're like, okay, well, that was close. And then as the plane starts to roll over or whatever, and I was like, man, that's fucking fun.
See, that's just old Chucky D getting
That's
into
just
character.
pure
Now, see,
Chuck.
I see Beat 9 in the in the comments section over there.
Beat 9?
Yeah, what you missed was me.
That's German for no beats.
No,
Beatless, right?
No,
Beatless.
Beat no 3. Beat number 3, I guess. It is the third beat. Well, you missed me and him nerding out on VR. Close to the end of the stream.
I left your chat up, so I actually went back and read through some of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the March Oculus Rift and stuff. Yeah.
Thank you for telling me about the HTC Vive, whatever it's called. I really
It's the Vive.
appreciate that, man.
And Will Roth.
Hey.
On the end here. We are sharkless tonight.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
used our bat shark repellent. And
No, we called Robert Ryan, and we shot a can of compressed oxygen.
Rob Ryan, the coach of the New England... No.
Robert Ryan, the fisherman from Jaws.
Oh.
Jesus Christ,
It's been a long
man.
time since I've seen Jaws.
You know, one time I was in an interview to get a job at a family video, and they said, "Tell us about yourself." And I said, "I love movies, and I fancy myself a movie buff."
Yeah.
And I said, she was like, "What's your favorite movies?" And I said, "Well, what a question."
My God.
That's a loaded
you know,
question.
yeah. So I started answering things like, Lost in Translation, The Life
Never seen
Aquatic
it.
with Steve Zissou.
Oh, Life Aquatic is great.
Things like that. I think movies I love.
You're a Wes Anderson fan, aren't you?
I am. I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. Anyway, so I go, you know what? And I stopped the interview and I go, I'm going to turn the tables. I go,
What's
tell me your favorite movie. And
movies?
she goes, I guess I like Jaws. And I got up and I walked out.
What?
Yeah.
I guess I like Jaws.
I guess I like Jaws. And I literally got up and I said, this is not for me.
See
and I
ya.
walked out.
It's
I'm not going to
family
sit
videos.
there.
You're not going to work under someone who doesn't go like, oh, I'm going to go
Exactly.
fucking Godfather. Or really
Yeah.
anything. If you're passionate about she could have said fucking 50 Shades of Grey. Like, you know what? I know this is crazy, but I just fucking love 50 Shades of Grey. It doesn't matter because that's where the passion is. And
Right.
I guess I like the most
Hey, Steve.
bland
The
movie I
most
can
bland.
think of.
Generic, like,
Hey,
favorite
Steven.
movie.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it would have been like if Will was working with us at Blockbuster?
Oh, we would have had some times.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
God.
You, me, Steven, and our buddy Jason.
Jason worked with us. at
Holy
Blockbuster.
shit, dude.
Nice.
Cam Guy says, I'm too smart for my mom. There's a commercial where it said, want to see something intense? I said, campers. It took her a minute. Intense.
But tish.
Yeah, I like it, Game Guy. Good job. Fringe Loop. Hello, it is me you're looking for. Yeah, we were looking for you, Fringe Loop.
We're
actually right
always
before you
looking
got
for
here.
you,
We were like,
Fringe.
where the fuck's Fringe Loop?
Yeah, we miss you, man.
By the way, guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you follow us. Click the little heart button or click the follow button underneath. And when we get new followers now, we have a nifty little pop-up that pops up and welcomes you as our newest Angry Cuddler. So that's really...
Somebody follow us so that I actually have something to point at down here.
The topic today, gentlemen, is game over. Also, I don't know that this would hold up at this point. You remember in the old arcades, there was an image that rotated on arcades. Almost every arcade you can think of. When it was in demo mode, you know what I mean?
It's called the eye catch, yeah.
One of the most iconic frames was like the U.S. firearms and tobacco
Winners
or whatever.
don't do drugs. William
Winners
S.
don't
Sessions.
use drugs. And
Director of the FBI.
was it the FBI seal that came up?
Yep.
Okay. You can't put that up anymore
No.
because not only is it, like wrong, but the and Will has officially joined the chat. He's leaning out of frame to join you guys in the chat.
I just downloaded it on my phone.
You know, you can
Look,
you
it's
can go
accepted.
chat only on there too.
Can you really? How?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
check
under
this out.
the
Teach
little
me.
gear
Push
box.
a little thing there.
Yeah.
There's your little gear. Do the little gear thing,
There's a
and it
gear.
says chat
only. Do it.
Hit
Yeah.
chat only,
I want to do it.
and
There you go.
then you should have
Rolling,
there it is.
rolling,
Hit
rolling.
apply,
And then apply.
and
apply.
hit apply,
Chuck hit
and
apply.
hit apply. There we go. I
There
got.
it
I
is, chat
fixed it.
only.
I fixed it.
Fucking
I
monkeys
fixed it.
and typewriters in here. Yes, Marty McFly, winners don't use drugs. But the winningest Olympian in United States history
Does weed
does
like whoa?
so many drugs.
Makes Ziggy Marley look like Clay
Who?
Aiken.
Which one?
Phelps.
Oh yeah.
Michael Phelps, man.
And just
Why else do you think he's doing Subway commercials?
look, I'm all for
Because he diddles kids.
Oh, bad.
Subway.
I was
That
going
was
for a
Jared.
Munchies joke, not a child touching joke.
Well, I went there.
Sick
There-
bastard.
leave it to Will. Over half successful people in society.
See?
Yeah.
See, he's got it.
There you go.
Thank you, Marty McFly.
So I'm not encouraging you to do drugs. I'm just saying if you're in sports and you smoke, let's say, weed, that is not a performance-enhancing drug. That is a performance-debilitating drug. And if you can win 1 million gold medals and smoke weed, go the fuck for it.
I agree.
Dive off that diving board.
Like, why do they even check the snowboarders in the Winter Olympics? Like, go on, have your fun, kids.
Like
Ulrich.
I cannot smoke and play music.
That's strange.
Freaks
You're
me
the
out.
first musician I've ever heard say that.
I hate it. I took acid once and played a show.
I can't imagine
How
that
the
was.
fuck did that go?
But what about
That was
the
a real,
the
I have it
mellow?
all on video too. I'll have to show you. It was insane.
Were you like
we have video.
I had my
eating
shirt
your
off.
guitar?
I had my shirt off, and I didn't even have a guitar in my hand. I don't know what happened to my guitar, but I just remember I had a bunch of money shoved in my pants, and I was just like out of this world.
Oh, that's
It was a crazy.
So you were Mick
Tremendous.
Jagger you were Keith Richards for a
I
little
was
bit.
Keith
You're
Richards.
just
You're-
for a
you're
moment.
For
I was Keith Richards for a little bit.
Is weed not allowed in esports? Marty McFly asked. I don't know. That's a fantastic question. I don't know if
think
they
it's required.
do. I think you have to have like a
God,
certain
I-
caffeine level. Actually, like they check you
yeah,
at
that's
the
what it
door.
was. Like a 2-ball minimum.
Yeah.
Oh, Ulfric, that was really sweet of you.
I was from your voice the other night. Oh,
Was that
yeah?
was
Ulfric
that your,
at
your
the-
first
You
experience
guys
with
had
Will's singing
a
voice?
phenomenal fucking show the other night.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. There was so many people there.
You guys go to moonlightnative.com and you can learn what we're talking about. But they played at the Live Oak in Fort Worth off Magnolia Street, which is a gorgeous venue, by the way.
Yeah.
And the biggest crowd you've ever had?
Hands down.
Yeah.
There was so many people there. Right after we walked off stage, dude from the Star Telegram was like,
The
He's like-
fucking Fort Worth Star Telegram.
yeah, he's like, let's do an interview with you. And then we went
Yes,
backstage,
please.
did an interview. That'll be out Friday.
That's so cool.
Yeah, dude. It
We're
was
gonna have to
awesome.
get that shit for the
We sold a lot of merch that night.
good.
We're almost out of shirts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
I noticed someone at karaoke had a shirt,
Yeah,
an MN shirt.
yeah, an old MN shirt.
Hey, Shark, she joined the chat. She's only slightly dead. That's cool. You can be mostly dead, I hear, and be okay.
And we have several different levels of dead. That we don't say somebody's dead until they're actually dead.
They're actually dead. Yeah. Speaking
that's
of dead, the first time I ever experienced death in a video game was at the hands of this noise.
Oh yeah,
And what that first noise was, that was literally the game screeching to a halt. And it was the slap in the face, and Mario sticks his hands out, and he's like, "What the fuck did you just do?" And then he pops up and falls down.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. And that left an impression on me. It was something I never wanted to experience again.
Yeah.
But I play the Souls series. And I
What a jump.
Sick
and so
bastard.
I switched. I asked a few people on
Leave it to Steven to somehow connect Mario
to
with
the
fucking
Souls games.
Souls games.
Yeah. Which was actually, I asked some people on our social media things, either deaths in games or player deaths or character deaths, things that affected them in some way. And I got some pretty good responses. Actually, the first one I'm going to show you guys. This is from, you guys are going to get a little inception here for a second.
Twitchception.
This is from Metal Gear Solid 2, and this is Mark Davis.
Fission
this
mailed.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
So you're playing as Raiden. You finally hook up with Snake, and the whole game's going nuts. And then it goes to this, and I'm like, fuck! What the fuck happened? And I realize the game's still going.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait. And so I'm still there, and I'm confused. I'm worried. I don't know what's going on. There's one point in the game that also has the game tells you to turn off the system, and that's not a failure or a death or anything.
And this is coming from a series where the game prior, your voice over the intercom tells you that you need to unplug your controller, put it into another port, and then the psychic will no longer be able to read your thoughts.
Yeah, so you've had to trust the game, is what I'm saying.
You've been like Skinner boxed into this thing, and now they're just going to take the Skinner box and shake it until you're the dead cat inside. And I just turned the Skinner box into a Schrodinger box. I'm sorry.
Box, yeah.
Yeah, but you had to build up this trust with Metal Gear, and then it punishes you for trusting it.
As it should.
By telling you to turn off your system, and then by doing that fish and mail thing.
Also note that during this part of the game, it's feeding you a bunch of bullshit that you're not supposed to be trusting anyway. So in the midst of this computer program that's just on the fritz like, fuck, I need scissors 61? What does that even mean?
Apocalyptic Zombie, thanks for joining us, mate.
Hey, Zom, what's going on, bruv?
Shark says she's great at dying in games and finding the walls. Marty McFly says the first character death for him was Axel from Kingdom Hearts 2. Left him very upset.
Got it memorized?
I can see that. I can see that being a thing.
Yeah. Steven, I've never experienced death in a video game.
You
I've
don't
never
die
died. I don't
in
die.
any video game?
I'm that good.
So I'm going to bring this up. We're going to have another show all about this, but there is an alternate way of playing games that my ex, one of my old roommates, came up with called One Life to Live. And when you decide to play it that way, and it's just all sheer force of will,
right?
Or when you start the game, you decide you're going to play One Life to Live, and you stop playing your game. You delete your save if you die, and that makes it so much more intense.
Right.
It's like game heroin or something. Just
you permadeathing yourself. That's
okay.
great.
Then consider XCOM. XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Oh yeah,
where
that's a good one.
Where your Space Marines, all of the people that you can train up literally through the ranks. You have to be pretty far into the game for them to start at NCO level, at sergeant. Other than that, they start as trainees, they start as recruits, then they become squaddies, and then they finally get ranks. Yeah. You have the opportunity to name them.
Yeah, I was going to say, on top of that, you name them. So as people tend to do, what I did was everyone on my team was named after friends of mine, and I'd make them kind of look like friends of mine. Okay, so this is a big dude. It's going to be Chuck. There's a blonde chick. It's going to be Chelsea, or whoever. And so when you're in a battle and oh shit, Sam's about to go down, and if he does, he's dead.
I'll do you one better.
I
did a mission. It was you, me, Sam, Crystal, and a few other people I can't remember. That I had all these characters named. They were fitting. I had all their skill trees designed to fit their personalities. And I lost every last fucking one of us in a mission. The one person that survived was the one guy I didn't have the chance to name yet. At that point on, I was like, I am never naming my characters ever again, tough. Ever.
Hey, Optiplex, thanks for joining, man.
Yeah,
good to see you again.
Now, you guys do know what's coming, right?
What's coming?
In March.
Other than me.
The Division?
That's goddamn right.
The Division.
And I need to assemble my team.
Yeah. Jonathan's already pre-ordered it.
Perfect.
I have committed to pre-ordering it.
Me too.
So,
guys, we need to scour the streets of New York.
So
well, you were the one that suggested the street team at our group meeting last week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It'll be a little bit different.
A literal street team.
Yeah. This will be shooting people in the face virtually.
As all street teams
As
should.
I'm on the Moonlight Native Street team. Go see
Start
their fucking
shooting,
show.
yeah. Just shoot them all.
You're gonna buy the tickets. You're gonna buy the tickets.
Ulfric says, I wept manly tears when Deckard Cain died in D3. I'm guessing that's Diablo 3. And yeah, and I should probably mention that we're going to get a little bit spoilery as we talk about different games and deaths.
That's true.
Yeah.
Probably nothing too recent, but, just so you know.
I'm going to go ahead and give a spoiler alert here and say that my first encounter with death that really rocked me was Sonic the Hedgehog. Spoiler.
Yeah. That noise.
Underwater.
Yeah.
When you're underwater.
That is the most panic-inducing sound.
Oh, my God.
No, panic-inducing sound was the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game when you're underwater.
Yeah.
And it's the last 15, 20 seconds before the bombs in the dam go off. And you're just like, I'm trying to swim through all this stuff.
Yeah, that was terrifying. That's terrifying. What would you guys... I asked you this once before on an earlier podcast. Do you remember the first video game you ever played? Just as a side...
Legend of Zelda.
First video game ever?
Yeah.
It was Aladdin on Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, dude, that game was rocking.
The one where you collected apples or you threw apples?
Yeah, you
Something
threw
about
apples.
right?
You threw apples, man. It was fucking awesome.
The Super Nintendo.
Oh, Apocalypse
version.
Zombie says the business card made me chuckle. Good, I'm glad. I sent Apocalypse Zombie got one, and Optiplex was the other one, I believe. The Assassin's Creed comics that I mailed in January. And since they went international, it took a little longer to get there. But I put our business card in with them. It's got one of our webcomics on the back. And good, I'm glad you like it. People keep trying to do... for some people don't want inactive subs. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Optiplex. You don't want this people...
It's the struggle, man. We feel it.
Yeah,
we feel
on
it.
subbing your channel
From
and
one
not being a
fledgling
part of it.
Twitch stream to another, we feel it.
So Jason on Facebook said that Heavy Rain... the way that they handled death in that game was really good.
Oh my
you
God.
had 4 playable
Heavy
characters-ish, and if one of them dies, they
You finish
die.
the rest of the
That's
game
it.
without them.
The game, it wraps up that story and integrates it into the plot, and you play the rest of the game. You cannot reload. As far as I know, you can't reload in Heavy Rain.
Fucking Heavy Rain.
So
Are you not a Heavy Rain fan?
No, I love Heavy Rain. I love Quantic Dream.
Heavy
I
Rain
love him to death.
is
It's just
one of the characters is a dad who's trying. It's the question is how far will you go to save your son, and so one of the scenes in Heavy Rain is he's crawling through a sewer with shards of broken glass laid out all out throughout the sewer, and he's crawling on his elbows, like on his arms, and getting cut to shit.
Yeah.
And he's only got a certain amount of time to get through the sewer, and the way that you do it is you hit a lighter and you see which way the wind is carrying through,
wow.
and so you have to go to an intersection and then hold up the lighter and move it around. But the controls are imperfect, to say the least.
Right.
And also, it's hard to see from that perspective necessarily where the flame is turning. So Chuck is making the same 2 turns over and over, and he doesn't realize it. And I can tell he's doing it, but this is one of those games where, I feel like you need to live with the consequences of what happens. And so I'm just letting him do it, but I'm watching him and I'm sweating bullets because I'm like, oh my God, because he's not going to get the next clue to be able to save his son.
and
my
what
God.
happens? What happens is not that the dad dies and you go through the rest of the game with the other 3 characters. What happens is that
Did your son
fucking
die?
no. What happens is he crawls the way out he came. Like, if you're just gonna be stuck in the middle of this thing and you're just gonna crawl out because you give up, then why don't you just keep crawling? Just keep going.
Wait, so he gives up?
Yeah, he's like, I can't do it because he's, bleeding out and getting fucked up and stuff.
It's like you're 100.
If you don't get through it in time, then the character sort of comes back out.
So
You're a
didn't-
kilometer away. You're stuck in a desert island, a kilometer away from the mainland, and your only hope is to swim for the mainland coast.
Then you swim.
And he swam for
Swim for your
650 meters,
Yeah,
and
and
you
then
know what he
swam
did?
back.
He turned around and swam the 650 back because he was too tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Game Guy says those aren't even games in my opinion. It's an interactive movie. Game Guy, do you think
Yeah.
that the Telltale series of games are interactive movies as well?
The weekly Twitch stream from the Friday night stream with Angry Cuddles
Yeah.
is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I started Walking Dead last weekend too. So it's going to be nothing but a bunch of interactive movies. Actually, my whole weekend is kind of cinematic.
Speaking of deaths, we won't get into the specifics of the spoiler, but the first season of Walking Dead, that last episode,
The one I just played?
Shit. Holy shit. If you don't hate yourself, like every episode of The Walking Dead that I played, the Telltale season 1, I would finish it and I'd just be depressed as shit.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, people.
I saw just recently, it was a scene from one of the Telltale games, the Walking Dead ones, and you're a drug addict girl and you accidentally, without spoiling too much, have you played this part? Where you
In season 1 or 2?
I don't even know which one it was, but you hit someone in the head on accident, and she's sitting there with her eye caved in, and she's going, "You killed me, you killed me," because she's freaking out because she's dying because she got hit in the head so hard, and the girl's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Jesus, this game is
it's fucking brutal." Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. A game guy does not like Telltale. Okay, yeah. Well, then at least you're consistent, game guy.
Like it says, I don't like Telltale games. I like Pokemon 1 and 2 though.
No, it's Poker Night.
Poker
They
Night.
do Poker Night at the
Oh,
inventory.
Poker Night. That's a Pokemon.
Before the story-based
I'm looking on my
choose your
tiny
own
screen.
adventure, before the choose your own adventure games, Telltale, well, I guess in between choose your own adventure games,
There you go.
they did the Poker Night at the Emporium or something.
Poker Night at the inventory.
Poker Night at the Inventory. That's it. Yeah. So what else did we get? Mark E mentioned the Soul series, so I didn't have to. And you die a lot in the Soul series, but there's a point.
Yes,
Every
you do.
time you die, you need to be asking yourself the question, what did I learn? And there should be an answer to it. It's not just like, oh, I fucked that up. You should have learned something from that. And you should... It's sort of like beating your head against a brick wall, but every time you hit it, it cracks a little more.
Right.
The head
Yeah.
or the wall?
Yeah, both. Yeah, both.
So now it's just a battle of attrition between the brick wall and your skull. All the more reason
bit.
why I fucking hate these games.
Peter mentioned. I mentioned Spec Ops. I bring up Spec Ops: The Line a lot.
Oh my God,
Peter
Spec
mentioned
Ops.
it. The ending of that game being quite good, and it is.
Oh, you do die quite frequently in Risk of Rain, game guy. And Shark mentions Eris.
Yeah,
Shark
actually,
mentions Eris, the biggest death.
Evan on Facebook also mentioned Eris in Final Fantasy VII, and that was a big one for a lot of people.
Crystal
That gut punched a lot of people.
Crystal's oldest son Tristan is playing Final Fantasy VII for the
Does he
first
know?
time. He knows. Like
okay.
it's meme-tastic, dude. Everybody knows Eris dies at the end of disc 1. We are not spoiling anything because everybody's already spoiled it for you. And if you didn't know that by now, then congratulations for having no contact with people.
FF7 remake. She lives.
FF7 remake. She has the choice of living.
I like
You have the opportunity
that a
to
lot.
save her.
Marty
Where are
McFly.
you getting this info?
I'm just making it up.
Oh.
I'm just thinking they're gonna
Just
throw,
make sure Cloud
they're
has the
gonna
cover
throw-
material, and then he can just teleport and block the
They're
sword.
gonna throw a screwball at you in some way, like Tifa dies or something in her place. I don't know.
There was this one death that rocked me real hard, and that was there was these 4 adventurers, and they were trying to take down a giant crab monster man. And suddenly, goddamn Steven fucking just dies.
4 levels under you, dude. I joined in and I was like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" Okay,
No,
I'll
you want
tag
to
along.
you want to know real sadness is when those same 4 adventurers went up against a big dwarven robot that just kept
The
healing
Sentinel.
itself,
Steven, take care of the things on the side. Okay.
and he died again.
And then was it Chuck was like,
Someone raised
Steven,
me.
I've got a job for you. Why don't you try doing this? Steven was like, okay, I'll try that.
My job at that point was being the chronicler of the war. I was just watching what you guys were doing, making sure that whatever happened it got recorded. I could go back
then
and tell
eventually,
people.
I was the
Yeah.
only one left alive somehow, and I'm like, shit, running,
true.
running.
My only job at that
We
point.
wasted so many soul gems just
Oh,
reviving each other.
Like half a dozen of them
Yeah.
went to me, I'm sure. Evan also says other games that really got him were Valkyrie Profile and Nier. Both of those I've not played,
Yeah, no good.
so I don't have frame of reference there.
All right.
But I will, and he said Shadow of the Colossus made him question ethics in video games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
All right.
The ending is phenomenal.
For me,
Yep.
Metal Gear Solid 2, Emma.
Oh, that was I think the first time that I cried and legitimately wept in a video game.
Yeah.
And I may have mentioned this before on an earlier podcast. I'm sure that I have. But, she owned a parrot. And, parrots are, as,
Goddamn
repeat
parrot.
shit that they hear. So after she dies and Hal, her brother, goes and gets the parrot, the parrot goes, "I miss you, Hal. I miss you."
And he's doing such a good job
And
of
he's
keeping
holding
that
it
straight
together.
face, and they did the awesome secret handshake high five thing
And
with
then
Solid Snake.
he falls to his knees and he starts pounding the
Oh
wall
my
and screaming and
God.
crying, and I lose my shit.
And this is after he spends several minutes in a couple of cutscenes worth of time going over how the whole relationship between him and his half-sister just deteriorated because he had a
Kojima-
boner for his mom and
his
everything.
stepmom. Is let's get it
No,
straight.
it's
Get it
true.
straight, Chuck. But
It is a stepmother.
But the Kojima does like to hit you with 30 minutes of exposition right before he kills off that fucking character.
He's the Japanese George R.R. Martin,
Yeah.
I guess.
Um,
Okay, another one.
Yeah.
The Darkness. The Darkness.
oh yeah, that was a tough one.
That one was one I didn't cry, but
You got mad.
I got mad.
Did you ever play The Darkness, Will?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about then.
Darkness is the
Yeah.
With the guy from Epic, Mike Patton,
Okay.
doing the voice of the Darkness.
right. Oh yeah.
You will walk.
Octoplex says his mom. Oh, his stepmom. That's fine.
Yeah.
We got to draw the line right there. This
Yeah.
is okay. This is not.
Right.
But yeah, so the mobster takes your girlfriend, and this is a trope, and I'm not saying that this is a brilliant use of the trope or anything, but it was effective emotionally because you're forced to watch your girlfriend get executed up against the window where you're right there.
Not just that, you are forced by the very same supernatural power that could
gives you
just as easily prevent that entire situation from happening in
Right,
the
they-
first place.
they
He
make
sits
you
there.
watch it.
That
That's
line I
right.
said, "You will watch." That's actually what he says and
Right.
how he says it. And
that
you
was a
have
good
the
one.
you can do something. You have button control, but every button you hit is just your fists banging against the window of the door that's locked right there in front of
I
you.
know one that affected you, Will, because we talked
Oh
about
my
it
God.
when you guested last summer. The first 30 minutes of The Last of Us.
Dude, I legitimately
No, that's
legitimately cried.
that's
That was-
wiping away.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things you and I ever discussed
Yeah.
on this show.
Oh,
back
yeah.
when you were a guest star versus a co-host.
That was a really tough moment in gaming.
It was. It
It
was
was-
really and that it happened so early.
Yeah.
And that they handled it so well.
Oh yeah.
That
What was so great is it gave you a line, and that's when he said, "Come on, baby girl,"
mhm.
and to use that one time
Yeah.
in that moment, and then to travel the entire game, and then at the end when he's carrying her out of the
And
hospital,
he's-
and he goes,
and
"Come
he's
on, baby
again.
girl," and he identifies her as his
That's right.
as his daughter.
Oh
And
man,
you're
that
like,
was
holy shit. With
that was
one
good.
word, he fucking, it ties it all together.
Yeah, that's two people in video games that you never fuck with when I'm playing them. Is you never fuck with my significant other, and you never fuck with my kids.
It's true.
Ever.
Game Guy. Ooh, that's a good point. He said he thought the deaths in Limbo were pretty great, especially the spider. Did you play through Limbo?
I didn't play through Limbo, but I have played a lot of Limbo, and those do kind of send a little chill up your spine. They did those really well.
Yep.
Do you know what we're talking about, Will?
Limbo. Mm-mm.
No? Okay. It's monochrome. It's black and white.
Okay.
All right. And action happens in the foreground, solid black. Like all the characters are black.
Yeah.
All right. And then the ground that you're walking on is black, and all the monsters are black. And so they all kind of seem like they blend into each other like shadows.
Right.
You're looking at everybody's silhouettes. You run into things, and these things will kill you, and your deaths are for something that looks like it could be a cute little like Tim Burton-y cartoon thing. These deaths are super realistic. Like decapitations and impalings and shit. That's nuts. And so also the creatures that you can kill will also die in realistic ways. Like if you kill a spider, you will watch it like flop on its back, and then its legs will kind of go, and then they'll start to twitch like an actual insect would die.
And then there's this motherfucker right here.
Fuck this thing.
And then there's this motherfucker right there.
I don't want to hear it. I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
For failing
the
in
headphones,
Duck Hunt.
The headphones are off. I'm not listening to this shit.
For failing in Duck Hunt, that is what you get for failing in Duck Hunt. You don't die in Duck Hunt. The ducks don't come at you and kill you when you miss.
You know what? I'd much rather they did.
But that
Fuck
dog.
that dog.
Yeah.
That dog was the cause of a lot of anger when I was a kid. And if you played Duck Hunt with the, as you can only play it with the zapper, no one didn't. I don't care if you work for PETA. I don't care if you own 30 dogs. When that dog comes up and it goes, click, you're clicking away at that son of a bitch. Game Guy, yes, I actually hit something on accident when I was trying to type into the thing, and I just used that opportunity to switch over. But yes, you do need to show me how to make scenes a little better. I actually hit the wrong
You already
button,
know how to make a scene.
I went to something that I did not mean to go to, but whatever.
We all know how to make a scene.
It goes. Yeah. But if you want a professionalism, then you should go watch The Nerdist or The Attack. Okay, a brilliant death, because I didn't see it coming, and there are deaths in games that I don't see coming for sure. Mm-hmm. But this was the style of game that can't kill the main character, because it is an open world game in which you do stuff, you finish the story, and then you keep doing stuff. Like Fallout, like Grand Theft Auto, you can't kill the main character because there's stuff to do after the story.
Right.
Except in Red Dead Redemption.
Yep.
And
that was a good one.
They just, not only did they kill him, they fucking killed him.
Yeah.
He just went out like he had a Bolivian Army ending, is what they call it. He went out like Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Yeah, they killed the shit out of him.
That's fine. I get that. You want somebody that get fucking killed? How about Chrono from Chrono Trigger? You play the entirety of the game up until this point with Chrono, and then Chrono dies, and then you have to. You don't have to. You can actually go and fight Lavos in 1999 and beat the game without Chrono. And if you go through New Game Plus, that's another ending.
So Chrono,
one of like
Chrono
13.
definitely dies or can die.
Chrono definitely dies. He absolutely has to die.
Because I beat that game, but I know I'm going to get heat for this, but I beat the game. I didn't really much care for it.
Yeah, well, it's also a bunch of reading and menus and shit.
Yeah, but
that's not your thing.
I liked Earthbound. But I just
Earthbound
didn't.
Earthbound is quorky as fuck.
I love that store. My favorite.
The store in the mall, there's always the dude outside who's like flying a helicopter, but not in a welcoming like, hey, come in and see what our helicopter is. It's like, stay the fuck away from me.
Dude, every time I walk into Earthbound, there's some like half-ass wannabe hippie guy, and he's like,
yeah,
hey dude, welcome. And
yeah,
I'm like,
dude,
he's
just really laying on the hippie, yeah.
I'm like, fuck you, man. like, I have nothing against you, but just eat shit, dude. Get away from me.
You only want to be a hippie, you asshole.
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
Baker.
dude, did you try these essential oils? And I'm like,
God, just Earthbound is a Japanese fever dream. Well, full of fart jokes.
One of an ending that Peter on Facebook mentioned was Silent Hill 2. If you guys don't want to know the ending of Silent Hill 2, give me about 30 seconds.
5, 4, 3,
not the alien
2,
one.
Okay.
1.
There are many endings in Silent Hill 2 actually, but the thing is that you're going through this town. You're trying to figure out you got a letter from your dead wife saying to meet in Silent Hill.
Right.
It used to be a place of yours.
What would you do?
If I got a letter from my dead wife saying to meet me in Silent Hill, I'd tear it up.
You wouldn't go?
No, fuck that.
Like, having known the history of Silent Hill, and
Having
you get a
known-
letter
okay.
say Brandy, you get a letter from her. She's been missing for weeks.
Right.
You get a letter from her. It just says, Steven, I'm in Silent Hill. Come find me.
Okay.
Would you go?
If I would go through the normal like law enforcement channels, and let's just for the sake of this argument say that nothing like was availed from that, then I would take someone with me.
Right.
I wouldn't go by myself.
Yeah.
If everyone was like, no, man, that's a bad idea. Someone's fucking with you. I'd be like, yeah, you're right.
I would take like a group of like 10 heavily armed guys. Like, let's go to Silent Hill.
I think you'll probably still be the last man standing, and you wouldn't want to be.
That's true. You don't
because
wanna
this
be
is
the last
Silent
man
Hill
standing.
we're talking
That's
about.
true.
But
the place of nightmares.
Let's say that I had been married, and let's
Right.
say to someone for a while, and it was a very good marriage, and then she died, and it was tragic.
Yeah.
Chances are that I was working to get over it, and if I get that kind of thing, my honest reaction is like, that's going to drag out this getting over it process, and so I'm probably just. But the whole
You're
point
the
of
Jerry Seinfeld of our day. You know that. Like, it was almost over. I don't see why I got to go back into this.
Princess Queef, thanks for joining the
Closure, I guess.
Thanks for joining the podcast.
Also, thanks for the overshare, too.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Share away.
I'm on my period and the blood is stained my taint. Hope you guys are having a great day. I don't know why Adam
I'm almost
Sandler just
positive-
read that.
That was a good Adam
I
Sandler
don't know
impression.
why that happened.
But no, Princess Queef, I can tell that you're actually not female because nobody would.
no self-respecting
self-respect.
female.
Well, even if you you're even when you talk about your menstruation, you're obviously doing it to gross someone out. Therefore, you must find it gross, and it isn't. So, thanks for coming by and get over it. But
I
yeah,
like
I would.
Princess Queef.
I would. I like the name.
I
That's
think
a good
she's
name.
great.
Princess Queef is great. Follow us, Princess Queef.
Yeah, please.
We'd love to see you again, and we hope things go well for you in the future.
I'd take the call to adventure from my dead wife and
You
go
would?
to Silent Hill.
You would go?
Yeah.
Like, say Crystal,
Man,
you get the letter from Crystal.
Yeah.
And she says, and it's urgent. She says, like, help me. I'm in Silent Hill.
Well, see, the thing is this.
okay, yeah.
If she's dead and
Yeah.
she's sending me letters, chances are you could
Mr.
ignore them.
J97, thanks for following us. See, look, that little pop-up came up.
There it
Yeah.
was. I
That's
just
cool.
saw
Thanks
it.
for coming.
Awesome.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Mr. J.
Yeah.
Anyway, if she's dead and she's sending me a letter from beyond the grave saying
Yeah.
that she's in Silent Hill, I get the feeling as though this is like your letter from Hogwarts. Yeah, it's just you're going to get a shitload of letters if you keep ignoring them, and they're just going to keep stacking up.
Right.
They're going to find you no matter where you
They're
are.
gonna get more frightening.
So,
Right.
there's no way you're going to be able to get around this letter. This letter will keep coming to you until you go to Silent Hill. No matter who you talk to, no matter who you
Yeah.
bring with you, you have to go.
What's one creature in Silent Hill that you would not want to encounter and would not want to have a spectacular death with?
Take a second to think about that. I want to welcome Power Slave 1984. Thank you for coming. by.
Power
We appreciate it.
Slave?
You guys
Holy
haven't
shit!
yet.
Good to
Power
see you
Slave,
again,
yeah.
Follow
man.
us down at the bottom. Yeah, it's good to see you again. I
Yeah.
forgot Power Slave's been here before.
Yeah.
It's a good name. It's a memorable name.
It is.
'Cause-
So the creature, it's Pyramid Head.
Yeah?
No, actually,
No?
I'd be fine with Pyramid Head.
No, you would
What?
not.
I would. Okay, you know what? I'd still be shitting my
Hey,
pants.
Look, there's someone in the chat named I'm Fart with my butt open. That's specifically what we were talking about pre-stream. Thank you for coming by. I knew someone
She
was.
continuously fondles your phallic member with her oral aperture despite the clear disposal of seminal fluid.
That's called love. I
That
fart
is-
with my butt open.
that is true
That
love.
is called
I
love.
like the guy with the long hair. He seems like he'd understand me the most.
Will understands a lot.
I understand.
Will
I
understands
kind of
a
should be
lot
sitting
from
on the
life.
other side of
I-
Steven so
I
that
get
you
it,
have
so
what was
a
the-
lot of hair, a little hair,
But
no
what
hair.
was the Silent Hill 2 creature that you like? You're like, no,
Oh, yeah.
legs?
Okay, that's fair. And here's the thing that
Because that's
sets,
fucked up, man.
here's the thing that sets Silent Hill 2 apart from the other ones
Yeah.
is that either they did it or did it better. But what they did was each creature was a specific representation of James's psyche, and
Yep.
that's what, like, the nurses are supposed to be a representation of his sexual frustration when his wife is dying in bed, because you can't
Right.
you can't explore that ethically.
Right.
So that the kind of thing builds up. Pyramid Head is the pure rage. Anyway.
Payton wants to
Payton,
know if we're
are you guys
going to sing.
what? And
And you go for the shittiest song to start with. I hate you.
Well, nobody else is joining me, so I'm going to quit. But anyway, we were going to spoil Silent Hill 2 for you. The ending of the game is that your wife is still
One of
dead,
them, at
obviously, but you are dealing with the guilt, and Silent Hill is essentially a kind of mental purgatory kind of a thing, where you have to come to terms with the fact that you've been lying to yourself this whole time because you killed your own wife. You put her out of her misery, but it's the guilt. And so the scene near the end, he's going down a long hallway and remembering now the moments leading up to her death where he kills her is heartbreaking because you've been through all this horror and shit, and it's all your fault. So
it's all your goddamn fault.
It's super, super awesome. One of the other ones that I wrote down, Resident Evil 4 had good deaths.
Oh yeah, great deaths.
Yeah, didn't see that one coming.
Chainsaw deaths.
All
that were so.
Oh yeah, because
intense.
you could die instantly, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
If they got near you, you were pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have we've been going for some really like good, like flashy in your face deaths, but how about some of the Sierra deaths? Like games like King's Quest and Space not Space Ace. I can't remember. It might be Space Ace. But yeah, the King's Quest series, like it was point and click, all the items had one precisely one usage. And if you didn't use it right, then either the thing couldn't be done or you fucked something up and you died.
I love how Chuck's like inner sprocket just flies out sometimes.
Precisely fun.
I just want him to wear like a black unitard one day.
Is this just a part of sprockets when we dance?
Yeah. I want that to happen.
But yeah, Resident Evil 4's deaths, they were all specific to the situation you were in. It wasn't just you got knocked down, There was one where you get, your face chewed off. There's the chainsaw one. The one that I specifically remember is that thing that is you have to use the night vision or the thermal to figure out the regenerator would reach out and grab you, turn to spikes, and then slam you into its body.
Yeah.
And that was terrifying.
Dude. Yeah, because it was that whole scene where you're like kind of down in the boiler room, right? And it would like reach out of the fucking ceiling at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy fuck.
Yeah, those
Game
were terrifying.
Guy, you have my blessing.
A game
By
guy wants
all
to make
means.
a GIF of Chuck dancing.
Go with God.
Did you call it a GIF?
I did.
It's a fucking GIF. We've had this conversation
We have
before.
had this
You
conversation
posted this
before.
shit on YouTube.
I did. In sort of the same vein of Resident Evil 4,
you're dead.
this next one that I'm about to show you guys is a really memorable death.
Oh yeah.
From a game called Dead Space 2, and there's a scene. Let me switch over for you guys. There's a scene that is, if you played Dead Space 2, I'm sure you remember it.
Haven't played it.
But here we go. You haven't played Dead Space 2?
Nope.
Okay. This is what happens if you screw it up.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
So you have to
fuck that.
give yourself.
Fuck
The
that.
thing is as it gets closer, his heart rate raises and his eye starts twitching, obviously, like it would.
Oh Jesus.
And so when you screw it up,
Oh my god.
just all the way. All the way fucked.
Chuck,
All the way
is that what it
fucked.
sounds like when you
That's
orgasm?
Chuck's,
No,
Chuck's
that's what
finishing
it
move.
sounds like when I watch horrible shit happen to an eye. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh
terrible.
my god, that's
But even getting it right is still kind of traumatic
Yeah, 'cause
because
it,
it pierces in.
it's the
and he's-
zoom. It's the zoom and watching his eye just like dart around. It's like, oh my Jesus.
Yeah, I can't do eye shit. Eye shit freaks me out.
Yeah. But Dead Space had a lot of other memorable deaths as well, sort of in the way that RE4 did. Did you guys ever play Resident Evil Outbreak?
Yes.
Wait.
PlayStation 2.
It's when you could be like a group of friends, right?
Yep.
You guys could play online together.
And it was hard as shit.
Yeah.
But when you died in that game,
You became a zombie.
you became a zombie.
Yeah.
And so you could be helping your friends or whatever. And I believe that it even cut off your microphone. You could still hear the people, your friends talking, but you could no longer talk to them when you died. So when they found you, you could lunge at them and try to kill them as well.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah, a really
Okay.
fucking fun game.
Real quick, Optiplex, you bring up a good point. I don't know how many people actually know we have a YouTube channel, but yes, Angry Cuddles has a YouTube channel, and we post this podcast every Wednesday.
All our social medias above Will's head.
Right over there. And we will also post like the most memorable clip from the Friday night Twitch stream.
Yep.
Well, so far we've seen the GIF versus GIF argument and the greatest sex joke ever made as a result.
Yeah. You should
We have
definitely go to our
posted
YouTube channel and
a
watch that.
perfectly paused shot to Garrus's balls.
Yeah, when we were playing Mass Effect, that's true. Also true. The way that Assassin's Creed handles death, I really like, because the game itself is a game within the game, essentially. Right. So when you die, quote unquote, it's the desynchronization, which is a really good story explanation for allowing you to sort of regenerate and try again.
They kind of did that with the Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time. Every time you die and you decide to continue, the prince will say, "Hang on, that's not how that went. Let me try that."
That's not
again.
what happened. And actually, that's in the way that you die in the Arkham Knight games. It isn't exactly like that, but there's a message every time you die, and whoever you died at the hands of, that villain.
Oh, that's a running stream through the Arkham series of all games.
Yeah. They sort of take the stage and are like, I thought you could do better, or whatever. But
I expected so much more from you, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah, but I liked the way they did that too.
Actually, was it Arkham Knight that spoiler alert that Gordon, what's his daughter? Barbara. Was that? Did that really happen in the game?
No.
Or was it a hallucination?
It was a hallucination.
That's what I thought. When it happened, I was like, "Holy fuck!"
I was playing that game with Brandy, my girlfriend, and her daughter Charlie, and it's really beautifully set up because the whole game, at the beginning of the game, you're hit with like scarecrow gas. Mm-hmm. So a lot of shit happens in the game where you're not sure if it's real or not, and some things are and some things aren't, and sometimes you do not know which things are real and which ones are, and you never do.
Like Eternal Darkness, which also
Eternal Darkness.
Deaths.
Oh, good deaths in Eternal Darkness.
Deaths.
Yeah,
that may or may not have happened.
But she,
because that's fucking Eternal Darkness for you.
She's in there, and Scarecrow gasses her, and Batman's on the other side of the glass, like trying to get her out, and she's freaking out because she's scared, and she picks up a gun, and she holds it up to her. She actually fires it at Batman a couple times, I think, and it just hits the glass, and then she turns it to herself, and a hallucination of Joker steps right in front of her and does this when she pulls the trigger to himself, and it was shocking as shit.
It was shocking.
And Spec Ops: The Line actually does something like that too. Here's
God.
another big spoiler alert, because this is technically the final boss.
Yeah.
You finally get up to the Colonel.
Will loves it when we bring up Spec Ops: The Line.
I do. I love the game. I played the shit out of it, and I beat it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So here's what happens. I think you have two options on this one. You can either shoot the glass, right? Or
to make all the sand come in at that one point?
Yeah.
Or
you can shoot what looks like you're holding the Colonel at gunpoint.
Yeah.
But when you look at the mirror, when you look at your reflection in the glass, you actually have the gun to your head.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Spec Ops is nuts.
Yeah,
the game's
both of
super
those
crazy.
endings.
I'm about to replay that.
Well,
fucking game.
it's like really loosely based and modernized Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad.
Yeah.
That's where they got the guy's name.
And Game Guy says Spec Ops Line is great. And this is the thing that was especially great about it, is all the marketing for that game was not a psychological thriller. It was basically like a Call of Duty, Broheim, hoo-ha, shooting them.
Because that's what it was supposed to have been when it came out. But when it came out, it was already so it was outpaced by everything else. So you're like, okay, we got to do something with this that still makes it stand out.
And honestly, that was one of the biggest reasons that I put off playing the game, was because the commercials seemed so brutal.
Oh yeah,
explode this shit.
Exactly.
And then when extra credits goes on and says you need to play this game because there's so much more going on in here than just Call of Duty Broham bullshit.
It's a thinker.
Like, okay, I got to go play
It's
it.
a thinker,
And I played it, and sure enough, the fucking soundtrack to this game is amazing. I mean, shit. It has oh my god.
It would have been really cool if you could have played that online with your buds.
Yeah, and they were going for that because they had set pieces that looked like they were designed for
Sort of
multiplayer
kind of thing.
Well, I mean, if you could play the whole story with being those
your
three
friends.
guys.
Oh
you know what I mean?
shit.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been the shit.
Oh, especially considering what happens to those three guys
exactly.
too. And how many times Martin gets split up from the other two.
Yeah, that would be good.
Like I think
That'd be
that'd be
wow.
like a badass game.
Not only that, but you could actually see what happens to them when he gets split up because the game follows Captain Martin Walker the whole way through.
Yeah.
And you may or may not actually know what has happened to your other squad mates.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Other games, the memorable deaths, Alien Isolation, which by the way is a beautiful game. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You like every time you die in that game, it's a jumper. Like I'm running towards the door. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get away. I hit the door. It slides open. I'm about to turn around and close it, and then all of a sudden, I look down, and the alien tail has gone through my back and through my stomach, and I'm looking at him like, oh, and it, yeah.
Honestly, Deus Ex Human Revolution, right there at the very, very end. Like you get to that island and you have the option of.
I hated that fucking ending.
I did too, but
99% of that game, and then it shit all over me.
the reason why I don't like Adam Jensen is because the one ending that I did kind of tolerate was the one where. Spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The ending where he sinks the island, he goes down with it.
He goes down with it, yeah.
Because, I mean, you watch that whole thing happen. Also, Far Cry 3. You have the option of either staying on the island and going with your warrior instincts or taking the opportunity of going with what's left of your friends and going home and trying to piece your life back together after this horrible traumatic experience that you went through. You stay and you pick the warrior path, and the ending on that one, like, you die. You're having sex with that woman that taught you how to be a warrior.
Oh, right.
And, you know,
Forgotten
she
about that.
says that your child will be the ultimate warrior. And as soon as she says that, bam, Jade Dagger straight in the heart. And she's telling you all this shit about how your progeny is going to just further the warrior line more than it possibly ever could have dreamed as your life is slowly fading out.
Did you remember how you died or the deaths in Shattered Memories, Silent Hill Shattered Memories on the Wii?
No.
The little creatures like would chase after you and stuff,
And then they would hug you to death.
they would just hug you. And it was the creepiest thing. Like they would like, you know, you would lose health or whatever.
They're like the
and then when
Redeads
you
from
and then when you
Ocarina of
die,
Time.
you sort of fall to the ground and they like crawl on top of you and just lay there.
And
It's
keep hugging
really
you.
fucking
That's super creepy.
yeah.
Okay.
That's real weird.
So how about the prevention of deaths? Like the standout keeping somebody from dying. How about that?
What do you mean?
Give me an example.
Mass Effect. I even remember the name of this mission. I Remember Me. There is a woman who is going to kill herself, and she is parked right there next to the Normandy while it's in dock at the Citadel. And they tell you that you have to talk her down, and you have the opportunity to talk her down. And it's one of the sweetest, most heart-wrenching, reaffirming moments ever. He's like, will it hurt? And I said, it'll only hurt for just a moment, but after that, you'll wake back up, and from there on, your life will just be uphill from there. It'll be hard, but hang on. You know, something like that. Like you can straight up talk her down like a crisis counselor, and it feels really good.
Or you can be the anti-crisis counselor.
Fuck
counselor.
it, do it. I
in-
don't care.
Well, at the end of the first Mass Effect with
with Saren.
Saren,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you for showing me the error of
Yeah.
my ways. Bam.
In Steel Battalion, you had permadeath.
Yep.
You had
you better hit that fucking eject
you
button.
had a mech.
You better hit that fucking eject button.
you had a certain amount of money. You had this enormous console in front of you, and when your mech started to explode, if you didn't eject from the mech, your data was erased. It would erase your data.
Holy
You had to start
shit.
over. So you had to eject. But then, even once you did, you had to use money to purchase another mech to use. And so every battle was a life and death situation where you don't want to die, but you're trying to preserve your mech because it cost a shitload of money, and that was a game I never beat.
You know,
Ever.
the kind of game I'm waiting for is an open world, an open universe. Have you?
Uh-huh.
That you can customize your own ship, and you can go from world to world, exploring and doing whatever, but third person
Okay.
Okay.
and online. You can play with your friends.
EVE Online.
Is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
You buy your own ship, and then
but it's not third person.
yeah, it is.
What?
Yeah, you're outside the ship. You're flying around the ship.
Can you walk?
But can you get?
Oh
out
no,
of
there's
your
no
character?
there's no
Then-
EVA in
Then
Eve.
no.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
then that's not my game.
Oh god, if they
Not
had
quite
EVA in Eve, I'd be all over that shit.
Basically, I'm still waiting for Star Wars Galaxies.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We
I
all
heard-
know you're still
We-
waiting for Star
Still
Wars
waiting.
Galaxies.
We wanted you to be there to for when we're talking Star Wars games
Yeah.
to get all into Galaxies for us. Let me ask everybody, you
Yeah.
guys, everybody in the chat, what's the worst way to die in multiplayer? Is it sniped?
No.
Because I got to tell you, I can't fucking stand when I'm like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and
I actually respect that.
Spawn
You do?
cans.
I respect a good sniper. What I hate and what's more frustrating than anything is that when I know I'm killing somebody and I'm like, you're about to fucking die, and then I just happen to maybe hit the wrong sequence of buttons and they happen to like butt me in the face and I fucking die.
I saw a video on YouTube.
where you take a melee.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
saw a video
it's
on
really more
YouTube a couple
frustrating.
of weeks ago of a dude who snuck up on a sniper who was up on a roof, and then he actually went into the 360 menu, sent a personal message to that guy saying, "Hey, I'm behind you," and then as soon as he turned around, he knifed him in the face. I'm like, damn, that was hard.
Apocalyptic zombie. Tell me a little more about Star Citizen. I want to know more about.
Would you
Star
like to know
Citizen.
more?
Okay, if
said-
we're doing first-person multiplayer games,
Well,
the
any multiplayer game that you die in. But what I think I know what you
fucking
mentioned a second
spawn
ago,
camping.
where you respawn like and
They're like, okay, all right, I'm about to get in here again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's do. The fuck? I'm doing something here.
I have seen some phenomenal kills in Battlefield 4. There have been some rocket snipes. There have been some crazy Tony Hawk jet where he flies the jet under the
Oh.
thing, ejects, does it like a kill, and
Hey,
then
game
lands
guy.
back in the
Hey,
fucking
game
plane.
guy.
Incredible.
You
So
know that
good.
video that you sent me a couple of days ago? Send it to him too. He needs to see that shit.
Oh, I had a really good snipe in this isn't multiplayer, but in Morrowind. I remember in Elder Scrolls Morrowind, you know the sky striders or whatever that fly.
Oh yeah.
I was in the mountains and it was off in the distance to the point where it was just gray, like
Yeah.
it wasn't even a full generated model anymore. And I took my bow and arrow and I pulled it back and I was like waiting and waiting. And my friend Zane was watching me. He goes, "You're not going to hit it." And I pulled up a little bit and I waited like 3, 4, and it goes, "Ah!" And I went, "Fuck yeah!" That was like my brilliant shot.
Yeah.
All right, another YouTube video, Skyrim. You know the street preacher in Whiterun?
Oh,
The
that is-
one
that is
keeps
that was a good
screaming about Talos.
Yeah.
And what he does is the guy walks up, he takes his arrow, he aims it straight up in the air, and then shoots it. And then he sits down to the bench next to the street preacher and just hangs out
Yeah, but it's
for
too
about
good.
15 seconds. And then all of a sudden, right in the midst of this long, loud tirade, the dude that voices Osmond Saddler from Resident Evil 4 all of a sudden takes a fucking arrow straight in the top of the head. Like
that
you
was
dropped
genius.
a penny off the Empire State Building.
Look, that gamers really shine when they come up with stuff like that.
I really do.
Do you guys have any personal deaths, like when you've been playing an MMO or anything? Now, typically when you're playing an MMO and you die, you come back or you respawn or you go to the graveyard or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing a game called Dark Ages. Not Dark Ages of Camelot. It was just called Dark Ages. It was like a 16-bit isometric kind of view. And the way that game worked was if you died, all of your stuff dropped. Your loot, your armor, everything you were wearing, everything on hand dropped. If you went back and picked it up, you would gain it again, but someone else could also grab it. So I had gone into a dungeon. I had died. I was trying to get back, but getting back through a dungeon when you have no gear is really fucking hard. So I go back. I die again. I go back. I die again. I'm trying to get to my loot that's in the dungeon. They have a server reset while I'm doing this. All of my shit gone. I'm just a level 12 or whatever, like naked dude with nothing to his name now.
Damn.
So let's Pulp Fiction this.
What game is that?
It's called Dark Ages.
Okay, Dark Ages.
Earlier that week, my character, and by the way, this was an RP server, so everything you typed had to be in character.
Right.
You could type things like, "I'm going to log off now," but you had to put them in brackets
Right.
to indicate. So anyway, I had met this girl who was a girl character. I have no idea who the player was, but it was a girl character. We literally played hide and seek, like in the village, And there were perks for like getting married and starting a relationship and stuff like that, kind of like an ESO.
Right.
So our characters in the role play had fallen in love. My character goes, my flash forward, I lose all my shit. I decide, fuck it, this character is dead. So what I did was I logged in on another character. I found that girl, and I was like, hey, you know Krothos, right? She's like, yeah, I know him. I was like, I'm sorry, but he was doing this. He was in a dungeon earlier. He died. He's not coming back. She did the little crying emote, and it broke my fucking heart. Like in real life, I was like, oh God. And so that was the end of that character. That my MMO character died. I shut it off. I did not go back to play it again.
Okay, I have memorable player deaths for both of you, not for myself, but for both of you. Steven,
Yeah.
yours is funny.
Okay.
Tony Hawk.
I remember this. Underground, right?
Yeah, I know. I think it's
American
Wasteland.
American
There's
Wasteland.
a mission where you have to feed sharks, and the way you do it is there's a rail on the outside of this little gondola-looking thing out in the middle of the water. You go over it, and then right there at the end with the last shark, there's a great big jump that you got to make, and they know how big it is, so it cuts to an outside wide camera, and it goes into slow-mo. Steven misses the jump, and it's fairly clear that he missed the jump right when it goes into slow-mo. So here's Steven's reaction. All right, last jump. Shit. And then into the water he goes. And that was... I love that
There's a
shit.
Star Citizen video for you, Will, if you want to take a gander at that.
Will,
That is
your
cool.
most memorable player death?
Yeah.
Star Wars Galaxies. When you
Oh,
were
yeah.
there to watch the server die.
Dude.
Yeah. Watch
That-
the world burn.
That truly had to be...
Like, I
That's
can't
the
even
most-
begin to imagine how that feels.
That's
How
the
much
most
time did
memorable.
you
You
put
put in
into
a
that
lot
game?
to that character, right?
Well, I was directly working for Darth Vader, and I was a Sith Lord.
That's really cool.
And I had my fucking red saber, my black robes. I had an amazing ship we had a crew of 25 people. And they would come, we would all just hang out on this big ship. And there was a commons area where everyone would just sit around and chat and stuff. And then we would all of a sudden we'd start getting attacked, and then everyone would we'd be like, to stations, and everyone would jump into the shit. And then I'd throw us into hyperdrive. Dude, it was incredible. Incredible experience. And so to sit there on Tatooine and watch the last sunrise while we all slowly awaited death.
Oh, that's so good.
There was people sitting there just dancing one last dance, people playing their instruments. People were trading and just giving each other just all their money.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
Here,
it was
take it.
insane. And then all of a sudden,
It's a pretty amazing story.
yeah, it was over.
And that, this is the way the world ends, not with
Yeah.
a bang, but with a whimper.
Yeah, that's what
With
it
a
was.
party.
It was a bit of
No,
a
no,
party.
there's a party, but then all of a sudden the server is down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
that's a
your whimper right
That's
there.
a little. Was it anticlimactic, or did you feel like that you climaxed?
No,
I
I'll bet you that's
climaxed.
Okay, that's
I'll
good.
bet you
Yeah.
that's what death actually feels like.
You've
Like the
been
last thing you see is server disconnected, and then you close the program, and that's
Yeah.
the end of your life.
Well, all good things must come to an end, and so must we. Tonight. If you guys haven't yet, please follow us. Our next podcast is a week from today, same time, same place, 9 p.m. Central U.S. We are going to be giving away $20 PSN gift card because we've been showing Xbox a lot of love. We've even shown PC some love. We're going to show PlayStation players some love. So $20 PSN gift card coming your way next Monday. And then
Do we have a topic?
we will have topics planned out as soon as we shut this off and I chat with you guys for a
There's
minute.
another thing we discussed last week.
And so like I said, follow us here. Up there. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. It's all Angry Cuddles. And let us know anything that we didn't cover. Some super awesome deaths in games. When you guys are playing multiplayer, what's the most frustrating death? Is it being camped? Is it sniping? Is it grenades? Where you're running towards a guy, he throws a grenade behind you, but you instinctively start backing up because that shit, and then you walk right into it. If you have a thing that you were about to say. I feel like you took a breath.
I think it's very appropriate to end on this certain saying. So let me know when you want to end.
Oh yeah, I'll let you
Oh.
take us off then in just a second. when the shark. Thank you. Yes, I might do that in just a second. But I lost my train of thought. It was about follows and social media and all that stuff. Oh, if you want to follow Chuck, he's Byronic Commando. Do you want me to type that in?
By all means, please do.
Okay, this is coming your way. Talk about your stream.
Tomorrow, I still don't have a clue what I'm going to be playing. So if I figure something out, I'll figure something out, and then I'll just commit to it until the game's done. Wednesday, I will be continuing How to Survive. Friday, I will be continuing Fallout 4. Saturday, I'll be playing Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 3. Long Road Ahead, I believe it's called. I believe... I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing anything on Monday. There might be some shit going on, but follow me on Twitter, at Byronic Commando, and I will keep things updated right there, let you know what's going on. And, yeah, that's how I'm rolling now.
And, APOC will watch the video. And check out our webcomic as well. At the very bottom, angrycuddles.com. Our featured item in the store is our Deadpool comic. And since Deadpool's coming out in a couple weeks, it's the perfect time to buy it. And we will mail it to you. And we'll sign it if you want, like if that's your thing.
Sure.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Will, take us away.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage against the dying of the light.